Alrighty, so we're going to be getting started here in just a second. I'll check the stream in a minute. I'm not too worried about it at the very second. Let me go ahead and change this over to my Visual Studio Code session. Again, I need to check the stream, but we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so today, as you can see on the name of the stream, we're actually going to be working on getting a Discord port over on Android because the Discord app on Android's beyond buggy. We're talking like the microphone doesn't work over half the time when I try to use it, and that's not even my phone, right? Like I know this. I've had problems with on multiple phones in the past. So the way you can legally do this is you do not interact with their API. What you essentially do is you put their website in a wrapper and then you attach permissions to it. That's essentially what we're going to be doing. And you're 100% allowed to do that legally. That's the same reason you can make an Electron app of different websites, right? So that's what we're going to do. It's not something I'm gonna probably like maintain with Electron or anything on the actual Linux machines. I don't care. That's what Desktop is there for. We're actually pulling from their code base for this port, so we'll continue working on that. Again, let me go check for that the stream's up real quick, and then we'll get started. I will off and on check the chat. I'm probably not going to be watching it super closely because yeah, I just don't tend to do that, but oh well. Excuse me. Such account. I really don't feel too good. Alright, let's quit the stream. Cool, cool. Wait, who's in the chat? Wait, why is it showing up here but not here? You guys can't see this, like the chat windows right here, but it says there's a chat right here. What? I am so lost. Well, let me look. Let me look if it's just not updating or something in here. Kind of curious. So I got a live. You can go here. Oh, wrong one. Go to live control room. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I know. It just seems like it's buggy. But yeah, I'm gonna check my audio's going through. Yep, it's working. So, let's get started. Let me turn on some music and we'll have some fun. So, yeah, that's fine. Refresh, please. Um, Turn on. There we go. All right. So as you can see here, though, I've already been kind of writing out what we're trying to accomplish. So this actually started out as the Linux port for mobile, which that part's not even that big of a deal. I'll probably still work on it, but can't use this thing as a daily driver. And what it came down to is I wasn't getting text messages I was supposed to be getting. And it actually, again, was not my side of it. It was the phone. Basically, what was happening was the modem was detecting a connection, but then it would try to send it off into its own, like, it was almost like it was looping into a whole other section on the phone, like another service. And I was like, what? Because I kept getting messages from 223344556677. And I was like, this doesn't make sense, right? Like, what? At first, I was like, oh, maybe it's just a bug or something. But then I started recognizing numbers, and I'm like, oh no, who is texting me? Because I don't know everybody's number off the top of my head. I know the most important people's. And I was like, oh no, that's why I switched back. But yeah, that's why originally in here it started as a Linux port. As you can see, we're using an app image and a Flatpak format, which I'll continue to do. I'll let people have it, but I'm only going to be testing it in the. And again, this will be fine because right, it's not an SMS client or anything like that. It's just a proprietary protocol that talked over the internet, so I can test it. But first, we're going to work on the Android port and get that working because, like I said, I don't like the mobile Android version, and I have some kind of problems with the mods that they have out there because they're not legal because of the way they do it. Those are not. They're not just putting basically a box around the website. Those actually are taking the client, ripping it apart, and then adding their own stuff to it, and then redistributing it. It's not the fact that they're actually modifying it. It's the fact they turn around and distribute it to me and you. And that's what's illegal. It's the same reason why you can make your own windows and images, but you cannot redistribute it without a license. And as far as I know, Discord doesn't have a license program like that. So Windows does, but no. Anyway, that's besides the point. So let's see. No, we don't want to do an app image. You dork. We are moving this over to an Android APK bundle. Please separate all content for Android into an, I'm going to have this be separated out so I can put them into two subprojects. I'll show you. Android into an Android folder, and all Linux based be put into an Linux folder. Yeah, the reason I started working on it for, let's say, like a mobile platform is the Pinecone has like next to no applications. Oh my gosh. And the few it has, right, are the KDE Plasma Mobile and the Phosh or GNOME Web applications, and they're so heavy for this phone, that is, right? Because this is it may be a semi-modern phone, but it's running on hardware that's like 10, 15 years old because it's all open source. It's none of it's with contract with Qualcomm or anything. It actually uses a it's not Snapdragon, it's not MediaTek, it's an Allwinner CPU. You would have never heard of this before. Like I literally didn't know this existed before I got this phone back in 2022. I probably wouldn't buy it again, to be honest, after this. I thought it was worth the investment in time and fun, and it hasn't been fun, to be honest. It just hasn't been. I wish it would have been, but... Alright, let's see what's going on. Oh, after it's done doing this, I got to set up tests. Okay, before I deploy something, I wanted to pass a series of tests, one of them being it passes the guidelines for the CISA. Because if it hits that standard, we don't have to worry about security very much. And the cool thing with us being in the age of AI, right, that testing is significantly easier to set up rather than having to write it all ourselves. Because if you don't know what the CISA is, while we're waiting, I can switch this over real quick so I can show you. Oh, actually, we'll do it this way. Window capture. Yeah, tool, select. There we go. Let's see. We'll go ahead and fit this transform, fit to screen. All right. It's not going to be perfect scaling, but that's all right. So what the CISA is a U.S. government agency. So if you've ever heard of the cybercrime division, that's exactly what this is. They have a set of guidelines that you have to hit to be able to be qualified. And then it's like your software can hit it. It's actually kind of cool. I'm never obviously going to go for official verification, but if I can hit the guidelines for the most part, it'll be fine. The cool thing is, one of the great things is they actually have a whole Linux security portion. It's called the NICCS right here. So, sorry. Yeah, like they can teach you different things if you want to learn. Again, that part doesn't matter too much. We're looking more for the vulnerabilities. Because I used to go through here for the exploits log, so I could have a general idea of what's going on. We'll see. And when I make stuff, I do it according to these, for what I can find in here now. The only downside, right, is this is published after they find it, so keep that in mind. Usually, they usually don't publish it until they've actually patched it, unless they're doing a something like this where they have someone go out and put like a bounty or whatever on it. I'm reading this. Give me a second. So. Yeah, that's fine. That's what we want. Yeah, I mean, as you can see here, it's pretty great. What I tend to do is just grab this address, go ahead and copy that. Oops, wrong one. And then I just tend to come over here, or if I'm using I like to use a combination of tools when I'm working, right? Because like I pay for this one, but I'm also in the developer program for this one, so I get like a crap ton of resources for this too already. But this one's better overall. The only downside of the Copilot stuff is if you look here, I don't know if it's showing it, but I hope so. Is right. These are the what's considered the non-premium tier. Whenever you pay the $10 a month, right, you get these unlimited. But then all of these, you do get a certain amount. But it was easy to go through all this. But yeah, I mean, these have done everything I needed to do just fine too. This is a really good model. I'm not a big fan of this one. Grok Code, ironically, is actually really good. I never expected to ever say that. Yeah, my favorite though is most certainly this one and this one right here. This one's really good if you need to discuss back and forth and figure out what the right solution for something is. This one's really good for like just straight up code and you just want it quickly done. This one you have to finagle a little bit with them and be like, hey, I need you to correct this or that. That's the only annoying thing. So what we'll paste in this. I need you to please make sure this. I mean, you can put something as generic as something like this, right? And it's going to go on and do it. Let's go look. I actually haven't pushed this yet. I need to at some point. That's whenever it generated checksums earlier. Yeah. So there's a bug I found, and it's really, really irritating. Because if you look here, right, I don't know if it's like a noob issue or what, but like I can't seem to like get it back into view properly for whatever reason. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of irritating. Not gonna lie. Let me see if I can get it down. It's almost like there's like a like you can see like it's the top line showing, but it says like there's like a 7-line problem between them, right? And then there's 4, and then there's 3, and then there's 1 line, right? And then 7 more lines again. So like, why? What's happened? It's funny. It's annoying, but it's funny. If I really need to look at something, all I have to do is just I will let that do its thing in the background. All you have to do is come in here, whatever file it may be, and we can just do. Let's see, is there an easy way of doing this? I guess I can do it this way. What I can do, honestly, is just have this open in the background. And we'll just go, you can't see what I'm doing, but what I'm in is my file manager. I can just go into it and look if I really, really need to see it. This is the reason why I've actually been working on my own IDE. I don't like some of the bugs I find in applications like this because, okay, this is an Electron app, so yes, it works across all platforms, but there's a bunch of bugs. And it's way too heavy for what it is. This application should not be even remotely close to this heavy. All right. Let me open up OBS. So let me show you something, if you're curious. I had to do a little reconfiguring last night. We got hit again by some bots. Keeps happening over and over and over again. So it might take a second to get to these sites now, to our GitLab or our Nextcloud or our Discourse, or our Mastodon, which we now have. Right? It may take a minute, and that has to do with the way it's being routed now. It's really irritating I had to do this, and I'm sorry I had to do this. So when it goes through directing now, it goes from your computer through Cloudflare, through a tunnel, and then through that tunnel onto our network. From our network, it goes to Anubis. Anubis says yes or no, or no, bad boy, right, if it's a bot or something. And then you hit the actual target. There's even more stuff I'm not going to tell you about because we got to keep our network pretty secure. But yeah, it's a lot now that it's having to do, and it sucks that we had to go to that. I didn't want to have to. I wish they didn't require that. It's unfortunate. But yeah, we do have a Discourse. I specifically put this up for if anybody's ever having any issues and they can't get a hold of us right away in the Discord, they can put it here. That's the whole point of this. If you look at our Mastodon, this is just legitimate an instance just to hang out for whoever wants to do that. They're welcome to register. I don't even force you guys to verify your emails on this because of how annoying it is. The thing is, though, if I start seeing a lot of abuse from bots, I will turn it on. I don't have a problem turning it on. I just don't want to have to make you guys go through that process. We hate having to do multi-factor. It's irritating at best. And our GitLab, but yeah, you can technically register, but we'll have to approve it. Yeah, so keep that in mind. We're not gonna be you're not just gonna get an account. That's not how it works for ours. I'm gonna go ahead and upload my profile picture while we're already here, because I feel like it. I'll do that. Cool. And then all we have to do now, yeah. And then again, that's all this is, right? This is great. Yeah. And then you'll just see that's my page. Gotta minimize this. And now, I actually gotta go put the thing in the door. Let me go do that. Let me switch you guys over. You guys can watch this until I get back from doing all that. Well, Dad already put the thing in the door and didn't tell me. Oh well, there we go. We're gonna do this. I want to do actual verification. Yeah. Oh my God! Stupid fingers. There we go. Maybe it's out of our package repository. We'll see. All right. Oh, it's a little big. There we go. And now all we got to do is go back here. Yeah, there we are. Just like that. Enter. Yeah, and we got to make a directory. It's going to go ahead and overwrite that when it clones it, probably. So I'll do the test. Okay. I don't know if this is its own package or if this is a something you'll have to install by npm pip something else. We'll see. Not a Python package. Yeah, I'm assuming it's based on Node then. No idea. Let me. There we are. Yeah, what's up? Give me just a second. I'm gonna mute myself.